The month of February. All right, the month of February. Let's talk about it. The first thing we're going to talk about is the planetary aspects that are happening. And then after we talk about that, or I give you those dates, thank you. Then we'll go into the individual rising signs, and we'll be talking about where the sun and the new moon is going to be highlighting, where the full moon will be falling, and we'll talk about where Venus will be impacting you for this month. So, as always, my astrological content is primarily geared towards your rising sign, which I always suggest if you are going to consume any type of astrological content, you want to be listening for your rising sign first. You also may hear it as your ascendant. Next, you want to listen for your sun sign, and you can also listen for your moon sign. If you listen for all three of these signs, this will give you a well-rounded overview of the energies that will be impacting you, and you'll be able to recognize when those energies are impacting your rising sign, your sun sign more, or your moon sign. And again, your moon sign is going to be reflective of what is happening to you on an internal level. Your rising sign is what is astrologically happening in real time for you. And your sun sign is more of those general things that are going on with you. All right. Does anyone have any questions? Before I forget, if you do not have your rising sign, you can go online and you can Google it at, you can put in free birth chart calculator or free natal chart calculator. Just choose one. Doesn't matter which one you choose. You're going to enter your date of birth, your place of birth, and most importantly, your time of birth. Please make sure the time of birth is correct, because this is going to determine what your rising sign is, which is very, very important. Now, you can go ahead and do that. Starting off the month on February the 5th, Mercury, the sign of communication, transportation, and all those things that have everything to do of the exchange of information, it's going to go into the sign of Aquarius. So with Mercury going into the sign of Aquarius, this is going to be conversations geared around technology. We're going to have a lot of conversations geared around innovation, a lot of conversations geared around moving forward, because Aquarius represents how we're moving forward in the world. So a lot of conversations around our long-term goals, what we see for ourselves, our desires, things of that nature will occupy the exchange of information that we have going on. The next thing is going to be on February the 6th, the asteroid Pallas, P-A-L-L-A-S, enters into the sign of Sagittarius. And I think this year for me, I'm going to get more into researching and inputting some of the asteroids into my content. But the asteroid Pallas is entering into Sagittarius. And what this will do is this will kind of ignite for some people a really broader view on their beliefs. Okay, since we're entering into the sign of Sagittarius, this will be you opening up your mind to your new belief system, how you see the world. This could open up some of us to different ways of worshiping, new philosophies around religion. This could also ignite a desire for learning. So education could be on the agenda with regards to this asteroid. On February the 9th, our new moon, which is representative of new beginnings, this is where we want to plant our seeds of intention. This is where we want to start our manifestations, will be in the sign of Aquarius. Keep in mind, Aquarius is about innovation, forward thinking, forward movement. This is an air sign, so this is all about the mind. So for me, with you doing your intentions around with the energy of the new moon, this is going to be a lot of speaking your intentions into existence, and also writing down your intentions into existence. This will support you on bringing those things into fruition. So as we move forward with the content for this year, depending on where the new moon and what sign it's going into, I will let you know what would be the best way to do manifestation. So because it's in Aquarius of the mind, let's write down our intentions. Let's speak our intentions into existence around this new moon. February the 13th, Mars the planet of initiative, the planet of passion and drive and moving forward, is going to enter into the sign of Aquarius. February the 16th, Venus, our smallest benefic planet, which represents love, money, creature comforts, all the things that we consider things that we love, beauty, aesthetics, all of that will be entering into the sign of Aquarius. On February the 18th, the sun will leave the sign of Aquarius and move into the sign of Pisces. So February the 18th, we get a change and we go into Pisces season. February the 23rd, Mercury leaves the sign of Aquarius and goes into the sign of Pisces. Now, Mercury in the sign of Pisces is not necessarily the best placement for Mercury, because Mercury is the planet of the mind, and Mercury is the planet of the details. So Mercury wants to know everything there is to know about any and everything. It is very particular about the information that it receives, the information that it puts out, the exchange of information, and it wants to know how everything works in great detail. Now, when you take a planet that is so analytical like this and you enter it into the sign that is like Pisces. First of all, Pisces is a water sign. And for me, Pisces is the most intuitive, imaginative, and dreamy sign of the zodiac. So those two things don't particularly work well together, because Mercury is all about what are the details in this thing that we're trying to come up with, and Pisces is like, I don't have any details. It's all in my mind. It's all in my imagination. I don't know how we're going to get there. I just know, I feel like this is a good idea. I feel like this is the direction that we should be going in. So Pisces is all about the feeling, about the imagination, and Mercury is about the details. So again, Mercury doesn't really do its best in this sign, but it is here, and that's where we are. So for me, I would advise you not to make a lot of major decisions around this time, because again, it's just not, there's no clarity there. Unless you're someone that is very intuitive and you're going to listen to your gut, and you do better when you listen to your gut, I would say that's great for you. But if you're someone that's very analytical, needs all the details in front of you, February may not be the best month for you to be making those types of decisions. Someone says, I have a dream, LOL. Yes, Martin Luther King, I have a dream. And Pisces actually is the sign of dreams. So we want to be careful, what we're doing and initiating around this time. And the final pass will be on February the 24th. The full moon will go into the sign of Virgo. So the full moon is about endings, adjustments, acknowledgments. It's also about the revelation of things that we need to see, because the moon will be at its brightest when it's full. This will be a time where you can get some clarity or get some vision, or you can get some knowledge of a situation that may have kept you in the dark, quote unquote. So this is going to be around the sign of Virgo. You don't like when someone said, I don't like when the moon is in Virgo. You don't like when the moon is in Virgo? The emotions get real critical. I have a Virgo moon, and I know how I process my emotions, and everything is very critical and overanalyzed. So I kind of understand what you're talking about with that full moon going into Virgo. So does anyone get into the individual rising sign? So once I get to your rising sign, if it is your rising sign, please put it in the comments so I'll know who I'm talking to on this live. And we're going to get started. We're going to start at the top of the zodiac, as I always do, with Aries, which is going to be Cancer rising. And I have a Cancer rising that's close to me. So Cancer rising, the sun, Venus, and new moon is going to be impacting your 8th house. So the 8th house, other people's money and other people's resources. So this is going to be energies. Let's talk about the sun and the new moon being here. So this is going to be new beginnings, new intentions, a lot of energy around your debts, your assets, your taxes, monies that you secure from financial institutions, monies that you owe other people. Now, again, this is also the money that you share with another person, or the money or resources you receive through another person or through another entity. So if you're a Cancer rising, this would definitely start off for February, the month of you looking at your budget and what you owe. So some of you are going to be thinking about getting on a debt repayment plan. And this is a great time for you to strategize this, because the sun and the new moon is going to be there to support you to get a lot of clarity around how you want to tackle your debt. If you're a Cancer rising that is wanting to plan for debt repayment. This will also be a good time, especially if you're a Cancer rising that has monies or resources tied to another person. And this could look like a spouse, a roommate. This could look like a business partner. This could also look like financial institutions. So how you're tied into someone else financially could come into play. So the same with you wanting to tackle debt. This could be if you're in partnership with someone, how money is being spent in that partnership, how assets are being, how your assets are being used in that partnership. Now, some of you are going to have to get on a new structure with regards to money and the money that is going out. I would say for my Cancer risings, especially those of you that are in partnership, you and your partner need to sit down and really, really get clear on how money is going in and out. Some of you may have been kind of taking a hands-off approach to the financial dynamic in your partnerships, and that is probably not the best thing for you to move forward and keep going. You need to know how your partner is spending money and vice versa. So a lot about debt. Now, some of you could be receiving some unexpected money, maybe possibly, it wouldn't be unexpected. If you are waiting on an insurance settlement, it's tax season. So some of you could be dealing with a tax situation. This will be also a good time if you're a Cancer rising that has never had a tax person to do your taxes. You may start to want to think about having someone else, a tax professional, to take on your taxes to see if you're getting the maximum benefits that you can possibly get. If you've been someone that's always just done your own taxes, it may be better for you to have someone else do your taxes for you this year moving forward. That's just something to think about. So we're looking at tax refunds, things of that nature. Some of you are going to actually be on the receiving end of monies that is owed to you, because again, we have Venus there too. So keep in mind, Venus is a planet of money. So some of you could be receiving monies back or receiving monies from other people. And if this is not directly impacting you, again, this is other people's money. So all this information could actually be impacting your partner, whatever that partnership looks like for you. So if your partner receives a bonus at work, or your partner receives an insurance payout, it comes to them, but it also benefits you as well. Now, we also talk about this includes debt as well. So don't always think it's just, money pouring in. We would love for that to be the case, but this could also be the debt of your partner you're having to deal with. Now, this also is a house of sex and intimacy. Keep in mind, sex and intimacy are two different things. Sex is the physical act, and intimacy is the connection we make with someone else. This would be a great time for you, especially those of you that are in romantic relationships, to reconnect with your partner on an intimate level. And also, this could bring some great sex to you in the month of February. Your girl is always supporting a good roll in the haze. So with Venus being there, and this being the month of love, this is Valentine month, this could bring a spark back to your sex life, a spark back to your romantic relationship in some way. So I support you in that with regards to that. Again, this Venus could also bring us some money. Hold on a second. Again, this Venus could also bring you some money with regards directly to you or through your partner. So this is kind of like a money month for my Cancer risings. Now, the full moon will be in your third house. Endings, adjustments, acknowledged around communication. So some of you could be finishing up a educational program, which is great. This could also open up the opportunity for you to go to school. Now, when we think about the third house in education, this is more like vocational type of education, certifications. So we're not talking about our long, 4-year degrees in the ninth house. We're talking about like short time spans that you go to school. So you want to get an accreditation. You want to take a class that has maybe learning a foreign language. This is more like short-term education. So that could be something that is happening for you. Some of you could be thinking about getting a new vehicle or in the need of a new vehicle. I hope that this doesn't come up, that you have some kind of car repairs or something to that effect. But there could be some attention drawn to your transportation needs, how you get around, educational pursuits. And this also could spark a dynamic with regards to your siblings. So siblings, extended family, your cousins, and your neighbors or your neighborhoods. Maybe some of you are losing a neighbor, or someone is moving out, or something about your neighborhood could be changing at this time. Now, with it being in the third house, and the third house does govern neighborhoods, this does give a little energy with regards to a potential move. But the move is more like a short distance move, so you're not really logistically moving far away from where you currently are. And it actually may be a surprise move that some of you decide that you have to relocate. All right? Guess who's next? See you in the next video. Bye-bye.